Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and begin the orientation. So thanks, everybody, for joining in. My name is Tom. I am one of the academic advisors. And what we're going to do for the orientation, we're just going to spend a little under an hour or so going through everything you need as you're getting started in the program. We're going to go over things you should have already received, what to do with all those to get everything set up and prepared, and then also how to get online and how to go through your courses, what you need to do as you're going through those, and then everything you need to do as you're going through everything else within the program. So um, first off, you can see I have up here just some information. This is contact information. It's good to have, but you don't have to have this memorized or anything. All this is going to be on our website. So when we show you how to get into all of that, you'll have it there as well. So first thing I want to do, as you guys are starting up with the program, you're going to get some emails from us. If you're just starting up, you probably already got these, but you're going to get 5 emails from us with some general info of stuff you're going to need as you get started. So you'll want to make sure you got those. The first one is just kind of a general welcome email. It confirms everything that you should have received from there, so that way you know what you have. The second one's going to have a welcome packet. So if you're in our ASN program, it'll have info on that. If you're in our BSN program, it'll have info on that. Something specific like that. The third one is going to be very specific to you and important. It'll have your link to our website, your username and password. It'll have information on your first course that you're scheduled for, all of that kind of stuff, which is really important. So if you have that, keep that. Make sure you have that available for later when you're going to be logging in. The next email is one that is going to go over whether or not we have transcripts. This is something you're going to get very specifically from our academics department. If you signed up with us, you may have already turned in transcripts. We may have already looked at them, or maybe not. Either way is fine. The email is basically going to say, if you've turned them in, it'll say that we have them and confirm what they are and let you know we're going to do a second evaluation of them in the academics department. Within the next 30 days. We like to do that to make sure we've done a double check to make sure everything is matching up and that you're enrolled in the correct courses with us. If you haven't turned in transcripts, that's fine too. The email will say that. It'll remind you to please get us those as soon as possible. We don't have to have anything official. They can be unofficial versions or copies. But if you can get us those, then we'll go over them and make sure we have you down to the correct courses. We definitely need to have those at some point so we can look them over and make sure we have you down for everything that you need. So that is that. The final important email you're going to get from us is actually one that's an automated email that comes from LockLizard. This is a program that you're going to need to view the tutorials in our class, which we'll kind of go over a little bit about what those are and why you're going to need that as well. But what I have up on the screen right now is a version of that email, an email that I'd gotten sent to myself so we could see what it looks like. So that's really the emails that you need. What I want to do now is kind of show you this email and transition into the technology portion, the programs that you're actually going to have to do our coursework. Most of the stuff you need is pretty basic stuff you probably already have. This LockLizard email is something that you definitely don't have and will need to install. The email goes over everything you need for installation. You can see here it talks about operating systems that it's compatible with, Windows, which is a regular Windows computer, Mac computer, iOS, which is like an iPhone or an iPad, or an Android operating system. If you have an Android-based phone or tablet, you can install it on there as well. So what this is the link for where you want to go for whichever operating system you're using. Now, like I said, this LockLizard is specifically for your tutorials. So the tutorials are like your reading material for the class. So each course you're in, you're going to download that from the course, and I'll show you that later on. And it'll be like your book for the class. So you want to install this on any place you're wanting to view that book and do reading. You can do it, like I said here, on computers or on your phone or tablet if you have those operating systems as well. So you can do it on multiple things. Just pull up this email and get it installed there. What I'll just show you is kind of what it looks like since I'm on a computer. If I click on the Windows operating system, it's going to take me to a website that's going to show me exactly what I need to download and install for that specific version that I need for the computer. and then I'll go through the steps. What I would do is go through the steps. I won't do it because I already have it on this computer, but I'd go through the steps there to install the LockLizard program, and then I would do the last step, which is actually back in the email, which is registering the license for that. So I'll see if I can get this pulled up. It's taking a second to go there. Here it goes. And so you can see here it tells me, yes, confirming I'm on a Windows. What I would do is just click here to download the most recent version. I would download and it would walk me through installing that. Then once I'm done with the installation, I'd go back into this original email. You can see my license here. It's my name, so it's my last name, first name. I'd click on that to register the license. This is an attachment to the email, so I know every email is a little different. So if you're really good with technology, you'll know about this. If you're not as good, you want to check for the attachment to the email. Different emails may be different. It may be attached to the top of the email. I also have it here in the bottom. There's a few different versions of this in the email. There's a link and then also a couple of attachments. So if you can't get one of them to work, try the other one. You'll know you've done it correctly if you get a little box that pops up, says, congratulations, you've successfully registered. If you've done that, you're good to go. You know you'll be able to view your tutorials. There's a few other things from a technological standpoint that you'll want to set up, but the nice thing is everything else you need, you'll be able to set up through our website. So the next thing I want to show you is how to log into our website and how to access the stuff that you're going to need there. Specifically first those programs and technology you'll need. So in the email you get whenever you're ready to log into the website, you'll go to that email and you'll have the link for this website here. It's www.dlsi-online.com. And this is going to take you specifically to this login page where you put in your username and password. You want to put in the username and password that you got in that email, and it is case sensitive, so chances are you have a capital letter in your password. You just want to make sure you put it in exactly how it is there, and then click login. And then from there, you'll be here on our main page of our website. This is going to look pretty similar if you're on a computer or a tablet or a phone. So it's real clean and lets you do pretty much the same thing no matter how you're logging in and where you're logging in. The one thing I can say on our website, I do suggest you use a program like Google Chrome or Firefox. Internet Explorer sometimes can be okay, but if you're noticing any problems with Internet Explorer, definitely try to do Google Chrome or Firefox. If you don't use those and you're not familiar with them, you can go online, just do a quick search for Firefox or Google Chrome. You'll be able to download those for free pretty easily. And so when you're on the website using that, it should look pretty clean. When you're on the website, basically navigation is pretty easy. You'll have a menu up here. The main things you're going to need to do are pretty easy. You have My Courses, My Messages, and My Profile. I'm going to go to My Courses now because this is going to have probably 90% of what you need there. This is going to be basically a list of the courses. You can see in the top, it's going to list some courses, and there's other tabs here. These are courses that you need based on your plan of study. And this is a place where you can go to, I'll show you later, where you can go to actually schedule those. But down below where it says My Registered Courses, these are going to be the courses that you currently have access to. Everybody's going to have access to some links for really helpful things you're going to need as you go through. You can see this: new student orientation, class schedules, testing site information, helpful study tips, some stuff like that. And then if you're in a current class, it will be the last one on the list. I have a sample one here that we're going to look at in a little bit, Sociology, September 13th. If you're just starting with us, you may see these links, but you may not see your actual class, your first scheduled class yet. That's okay. Any class you get scheduled for, the link will show up here online for you the Friday before it starts. We always give you access to a class the Friday before it starts. So if your first class is coming up, but it isn't the Friday before it starts yet, don't worry, that link will show up then. But these other links will be here, and these will be stuff that you can get into ahead of time and go through. The new student orientation specifically is where you can go to make sure you have all the programs you need and get everything set up on your computer so that you're ready for day one of your class. So I'm going to click on that. And in here, the nice thing is there's some other stuff that's helpful too. There's copies of the welcome packet if you need that, and other stuff. Everything on our website is going to be set up similar to this, where there's tabs across the side. So you can see there's a welcome under here. There's a new student orientation registration. That's what you're doing now. So if you ever wanted to retake the orientation, kind of go over anything else, you can always sign up for one we have coming up. Programs to download and mobile app. I'm going to go to programs to download. This is where we get into the stuff that you specifically need. These are the main programs you're going to need to do everything online. GoToMeeting, Adobe Reader, PowerPoint, and LockLizard. LockLizard is the only one that's different. It's the one that requires that email that I showed you. So you'll do that there. But the nice thing is after you've done the steps in that email I showed you, there is this here. You can click here to see if you're able to view the tutorial. If you click there, it'll download. It has a sample document you can open. If you open it and it says, you can view LockLizard PDF documents, you're good to go. If you can't get that open, then you may have some trouble. It's nice to be able to do that ahead of time, and then you can contact us and we can help you troubleshoot, and I'll show you how to do that as well. The other stuff is all pretty easy. The GoToMeeting, you click here to download it. If you're on a mobile device, if you're not on a mobile device, the mobile device is easy. You just click there to walk you through it. If you're on a computer, here's the nice thing about GoToMeeting. When you go to access a video, it installs automatically, which is really nice. And here's the other nice thing. The orientation that we're doing now runs off this exact same GoToMeeting software. So whatever you're using right now to get into this meeting, it's running off of this. So if you're able to get in this orientation, if you're doing everything correctly now, if you can see and hear me, then this will work for your actual class as well. So that's the nice thing on that. The other ones are ones that most people already have, Adobe Reader and PowerPoint. If you don't have them or you're not sure, they do the same thing here. You can click here to see if you can open it. I'll just kind of show you what it does. There you go. You can view PDF documents. I know I'm good. If I couldn't get that to open, then there's a link here for help viewing. It has a link where you can download that program. Same thing with PowerPoint, where you can test it and a place you can download it. If you have Microsoft Office on your computer, you'll be fine with PowerPoint and all of that. If for any reason you don't have Microsoft Office, I know that's the one thing that does cost money, but don't worry, there are free versions out there. So if you don't have it, we have a link here for a free viewer for the PowerPoint. So it'll let you view our PowerPoint files. And that should be everything you need there. The other thing that's here is a mobile app. So if you're on your phone or tablet, and you're going to be going onto our website a lot, you can do that just through the regular browser on the phone. That's fine. But there's also an app that you can use. So you can go here to download that app for free if you want to. That'll basically let you get into our website and access your courses and everything there through the app instead of through your web browser. It's kind of personal preference either way on that. You can go in there and download that if you'd like to do that. So that's pretty much it as far as the technology goes. What I want to do now is show you a sample class, how you're going to navigate with that, and what you're going to want to do. So what I did is I clicked home to go back to the main page here, and then I go back to my courses here. And the nice thing on our website, you can see there's a lot of different ways around, lots of different ways to get to things on here. But back under my courses is where I can go into the specific class here. So whenever you're ready for your course, whenever you're ready to get into anything there, you're going to click that main link on the page for the class. So I have the Sociology September 13th. I'll click there, and that's going to take me into the main hub for this course, and pretty much everything I need to do this course will be here. The basic setup for all the classes is the same. So once you get used to the way this is set up, it'll be the same through all the courses you're taking through us. There's an introduction section. Then it's broken down in weeks after that. So when the class first starts, you'll first have access to the introduction and general info here. You can see there. And you'll have access to week 1, which is here. And then the Friday before each week, next week's will start up, you'll have access to the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. Okay, so they will open up week by week. You'll still have access to all of the previous weeks, but the upcoming weeks will open up the Friday before each time. The place where everything is in here, in the introduction section, is where you'll have access to a lot of general stuff. You can see this class has student guidelines, some other important things. The really important thing in there in this section is the tutorial. The tutorial is like your reading material. It's like your book for the class. So this is really important. Each week in the class they're going to tell you what to read out of this. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and open the tutorial, let you guys see that, and kind of see how that works. So what you do is you click here for your tutorial, and then it opens up. And I'm going to show you this because mine opened up here, but it did have an error. So I want to show that to you so that you can see common error sometimes that comes up. See if I can pull this over here. Here it is. So I got this error. It says, please close your screen capture application and press OK to continue. This is something that happens every once in a while. It's nice for you guys to see. You may click on that and the tutorial may open fine, or you may get this. If you ever get this, this is actually something, like I said, it's common, but it's easy to fix. The LockLizard program will not let you open a tutorial if there's a screen capture application, and OneNote is the one that kind of happens every once in a while. So if you ever get this error, what you have to do, you have to actually go to the Start Manager and close this application, OneNote. So what I did is I hit Control-Alt-Delete on my keyboard, and then what I have to do is go here to Processes and find OneNote here, and then turn it off. So what I'm going to do is go through here. Here it is. You can see OneNote there. I right-click, and I hit In Process, and then right there. So this is something that, again, you may not see, but if you ever do, that's the way to do it. And if you ever do have problems with that and have trouble getting that fixed, you can let us know and we can troubleshoot as well. So here it is now that I'm able to open it. So like I said, normally if you open that tutorial, you might get this just come up just like this. So this is the tutorial for sociology. Like I said, you can think of it just like the book for the class. So it's set up here just like a book. There's a cover, info there, table of contents, and then into the material. And like I said, each week in the class, I'm going to show you where they tell you where to actually read, which sections you need to read. But here's the nice breakdown of what I like about this. The second page, the page after the cover, will be something like this, where it's going to talk about the exam. So the important thing to think about as we're going into these courses, and I'm showing you this, is big picture, right? So the big picture, each course you take with us is set up specifically for an exam. When the class is over, within 1 to 3 weeks, we want you to take that exam through a local testing center, and that exam is how you're going to get credit. So what we're doing within our course, within this tutorial, within the videos, everything else, is making sure we give you everything you need and make sure that you're prepared for that exam. This page and a lot of other places online, we have info about the exam and how you're going to sign up. So there's different kinds of exams, and we're going to show you that after we go through this class. But the page here, the second page of the tutorial, will always tell you about the exam and what type it is. So this is a nice page to always know is here if you have questions about the exam. This is a CLEP exam. So when you work through this, you'll kind of get used to it. The tutorial you can do a bunch of different things with. It has a word search function up here where you can go to the document, you can go find text, and you can type things in if you ever want to search for something. You can go page by page like this, or if you know that the last time you were in here, you were on page 30, and you just want to go straight there, you can type 30 up here, enter, and you're there. Okay? So lots of nice things about this. If you do want a paper version of this, you can print it as well. If you're just looking at it digitally, you can view it here on the computer. If you install LockLizard on your phone or tablet, you can view it there as well, so that's really nice. But if you want a paper version, I understand that as well. You have two options on that. You can print it yourself if you're on a computer, file print. You can print part or all of it. Or if you do really want to get a paper version that you know you're gonna really use a lot, we do have bound copies, kind of like a book here, that we can send you. Those do cost a little extra, so if you do want to get those for any of these, I just suggest contacting us, and we can do that as well. We can send you those and give you costs. So that's the tutorial itself. I'm going to go back to the class and show you the other stuff in there and everything you're going to want to do. So this is, again, back on the introduction section. the link for the tutorial. Then I'm going to click into week 1. Everything you need for each week of class is going to be under the week. So week 1 is here. You can see it has a link to the video, so it tells you when it's going to be. Each class is going to have a specific video time, same time each week. So this one you can see, this one, the first one is Tuesday, was Tuesday, September 13th from 1 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Important thing to note when we talk about times is we're always saying Eastern Standard Time. If you're on a different time zone, just keep that in mind. If you're on Central, it's going to be an hour difference. So if I said 1 o'clock Eastern, Central is going to be noon. It's an hour behind. So if you're in a different time zone, just keep that in mind. We do have people all over the country. So to keep it standard, we put Eastern. So each Tuesday at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is going to be the video. Week 1 was on the 13th. And to get to it, when it was live during that time, there's going to be a link right here that would have said, click here to view week 1 live video. When I go in there live, I'm able to communicate with everybody. There's a chat function where I can talk to people. And then once it's not live anymore, that link is replaced within 1 business day. Within 1 business day, a recorded version of that goes up. Same place. So now you can see there's a link that says, click here to view recorded video. The other stuff in the class, there's going to be PowerPoints under here. Those PowerPoints are gone over during the video, but if you want to just look at the PowerPoints later, or if you like printing those to take notes or anything, they're here. It's going to have your assignment. So you can see this. It says read units 1 and 2 in your tutorial. So that tutorial I just showed you, that's what you're going to want to read for that week. There's other helpful links, other things that might be helpful within the course. And there's going to be a quiz at the end. That quiz is there just to let you know after you've done everything else if you've really synthesized, really understood the material, if you're doing well on that. Nice thing about this is these weekly quizzes, they aren't for any official score, so you're really just going to use them to see if you're where you need to be. If you don't score as well as you'd like on it, go back through the material, retake it. You can definitely retake them as well. So I'm going to show you how the video looks in here as well. So I'm going to click here to view week 1 recorded video. The recorded video and the live video are going to look very similar. I'm going to pause it so I'm not talking over her. You'll see when it comes up small like this. If you're on a phone or a tablet, it's going to automatically go full screen. That's normally their settings. But if I'm on here, I would actually have to click here in the corner to make that full screen. There we go. So you see that. And this is basically how it's going to look when it's live as well. You see the instructor in the corner. There's a chat function. You can talk. If it's live, you have a place under here where you click and you could type in questions to the instructor, different sorts of stuff. When it's a recorded version like this, of course, I can't type in anything because it's not live. But the nice thing is I can see the chat that occurred when it was live. And that's kind of nice because sometimes if I have questions and I'm not watching it live, somebody else may have had the same question. So I may see it here. I may be able to get my question answered that way. If you're not in here live, if you're watching it recorded, again, that's completely fine. But if you have a question, what you want to do is jot it down, and you can email the instructor. The instructor will give her normally her email, best contact with that, and she'll be able to get back to you with any questions, comments you have about it. You can see Amy here has hers right up there. Screen we're on right now. You can see that. So that's the video itself. You can see with the recorded ones, it's nice because it tells me where I am in the video, and I can actually move around. So say, for example, I just want to watch half of it now. I only have time for half. I'll come back later. I can just go right to the halfway point and go from there. So live, recorded, either way, you're good on these. And then I'm back out. We go back into the main class now. So that's kind of the setup of the class. As you go through the rest of the weeks, you can see, like I said, the other weeks will open up. And it'll be the same basic format for each week. Video, PowerPoints, other links, quiz. The last week of class also, there's going to be a few differences. The main difference is it's the last week, so it's going to remind you about that exam. The instructor is going to discuss, how to do the exam as well and what you want to do to prepare for that. And she's going to remind you, of course, we suggest taking that exam within 1 to 3 weeks of the end of class. That's when people score the highest. Any longer than that, you start forgetting material, that kind of stuff. Also, it's going to remind you in there how long you have access to the material. So, for example, these classes, you get access to everything. Once it's over, the last video, you have 21 days, you have access to everything in the class. After the 21 days, the class does go away. So, which should be okay because that's the time frame you're going to want to take the exam. But let's say something catastrophic happens, you're not going to be ready, you need more time, just let us know. because we can help you out with that as well. Nice thing is there's always options. We can always help you. So if you feel like anything in the plan isn't working, always let us know. The nice thing about our program is how flexible it is. The other thing in the last week, important thing is there's also at the end of the last week a comprehensive practice exam. So what that does is it's a larger exam. It's going to be very similar to the actual exam, and it's going to go over everything that you learned in the class. So you're going to want to do that to get a real good idea of whether or not you're ready to take the actual exam. What I would say is for all these, you're looking at an 80% to know you're doing really well. At the end, if you're scoring a 90, you know you're good to go. If you're scoring a lot lower than that, you may not be ready. And that would be something that I would say talk to the instructor, talk to us here in the academics department to see kind of what you want to do with that. If you're scoring really high, you know you're good to go. You know you're ready to take that exam within the 1 to 3 week time period. Okay. That's pretty much it within the class itself. Now, what I'm going to show you is some other good stuff we have online and the other stuff you're going to need as you're going through the program. So we talked about this class, and then we talked about the exam you're going to take at the end. So what I'm going to show you is some information on how to take that exam and how to get the info you're going to need to do that here online. What I'm going to do is go back to my home here. Then I'm going to go under my courses where I have some other info here. These other links are the things that are important for stuff like this. So you can see class schedules and testing site information. These are the things we're going to go over now. The testing site information is something you want to look at as you're thinking about your first exam. So I'll click there. And this is a place where it talks about the testing sites, and then it gives you specific information on the steps for signing up for an exam and how to find your testing site in your area. I talked about how there's different types of exams. Each of our courses is set up for a very specific exam. Those may be Excelsior exams, DSST exams, or CLEP exams. And they're going to tell you specifically within the class which ones they are, but it also lists it here. So I'll click on the Excelsior exam info. You can see it gives info on that, and it also tells you which courses are Excelsior exams. So you can see if you need A&P, if you need developmental psychology, those are gen eds that are Excelsior. Also, if you're in our ASN program, all of your nursing exams are Excelsior. CLEP and DSST are different general education exams. So for example, if you, I'll click on CLEP, if you need a sociology, like we were looking at earlier, that is a CLEP exam. So you can see a list of those here. But with each of these, it's going to tell you steps. You can see there's links, how to register for the exam. So you'll want to look at those, basically tells you, and then has a link to a website. So for example, with the CLEP, it's really easy. Basically, you're going to find a testing site, and then you're going to contact them to sign up. And to find the testing site, depending on each one of these, at the end of it, there's going to be a link to click on to search for a testing site. I'm going to click on this just to show you kind of how it works with the CLEP one. So the CLEP website here, you can search based on your city, state, that kind of thing. I'll just put in a zip code here close to me and click go to see if I can find a CLEP testing site in my area. Here we go. You can see there's quite a few really close to me. So any of these I could go to. With the CLEP, it's easy. I just give them a call, let them know which type of exam I'm wanting to schedule, and they'll let me know the openings. With the Excelsior exam, it's a two-step process, so it's a little bit different. The first step, and it goes over in detail here, first step is to contact Excelsior to pay for the exam, and the second step is to sign up through Pearson VUE, who runs the testing center. So that's a two-step process, but same idea. It'll have contact information for Excelsior, and then with Pearson VUE, it's a website here you can go to search for testing sites in your area. So same idea with those. With these exams, like I said, these exams are how you actually get the credit. So the important thing to know is when you take one of these exams, let us know, okay? We do not get these scores automatically, so you have to let us know. The day of, you'll get a printout of the score. So what I suggest is just send us a copy of that. You can scan it in and email it, or you can fax it to us, whatever is easiest for you. But let us know how you do on those as you're going through. Also, when you're taking these exams, the Excelsior exam, you're fine with the info. You have to let us know about it, but you don't have to let Excelsior know because it's their exam. They keep it on file for you. Even if you're not enrolled with them yet,
Excelsior keeps it on file under the assumption that you're going to be enrolling. If you're taking a CLEP or a DSST exam, Excelsior won't get those scores automatically. So what they're going to do is they will ask you where you want an official grade report sent. You just ask that you have that sent to Excelsior College. It'll be sent to Excelsior and you'll be good. And then, like I said, just send us a copy of the unofficial grade report as well. That's what you'll do with those. So now we've talked about doing the course, doing the exam. So then what you want to think about is, as you're going through the program, scheduling other classes. So back under your courses, you'll have a few other things. Before I go to my courses, I'm going to show you some other stuff here on the main page that I guess I should have showed you before. I talk about getting in touch with us. I talk about sending us scores. Here's the info you kind of need for that too. On the main page here, if you scroll under these boxes, here's ways to get in touch with us that I said were here on the website earlier. Here's our academics email. Here's a phone number. Here's a chat link. So these are all things that you can do to get in touch with us. The chat is really nice because we're available. You can see Monday through Friday, 24 hours a day, and then on Saturday from 9 to 4. So we're here to help you at all these as well. And like I said, if you're sending in grade reports, you can do that as well. So under my courses, we talk about scheduling more courses. Here's a link where you can kind of get info on that, class schedules. The nice thing is we try to post our schedules pretty far out. So you can get on here and kind of see what you're needing and what we have offering coming up. Here, the nice thing is first it's going to tell you a little bit of info on the order you want to take classes. So, you know, we'll have done an evaluation of your transcripts. You'll have your plan of study to know the courses that you need. And based on that, you want to schedule kind of based on this. First, you want to take your general education courses. You want to get those out of the way first. Then, before you go into your nursing, you're going to be planning on enrolling with Excelsior. You don't need to enroll with Excelsior when you're doing your general education. You just need to enroll with them when you get to the nursing portion. You have to be enrolled with them to take any nursing exams. But in between, you're going to take a TEAS exam. That's an exam that you have to take through Excelsior College. You can see there's some info here that you can click on to do that. But you're going to take your gen eds, then that TEAS, and then you're going to go into your nursing. As you start your nursing courses, the order you want to do is this. You want to do your 100 levels first, and then go into your 200 levels, okay? Now, within this 100 level, you can do these in any order. There's not necessarily an order you have to do here. When you get your 200 level, same basic idea, but I would suggest doing the lifespan kind of separate. But again, same idea where there's not necessarily an order that you have to do those in. So once you know which courses you need and you know this order, you can click here on our class schedules and you can see what we have coming up. So for example, I'll just click on the October schedule here. Here we go. So you can see this is everything we have to offer. So say for example, maybe you need to take college math. Here's a college math starting October 10th, running through December 19th. The live video dates are listed on here. So Mondays at 5:30 p.m. Remember, Eastern Standard Time would be that. And this is when it's going to let you register. You can actually, if you want to schedule any of these, you can actually register online through a self-scheduling system, or you can actually let us know if you get in that chat or email us, tell us which date you want. We can schedule on our end too. So either way. And I have a really good question, something that came up, said, how far in advance do I have to sign up? So how far in advance? I think that you have to sign up for the classes. You don't necessarily have to sign up specifically at any time, but I do suggest kind of scheduling ahead. There's a couple nice benefits to that, and we do have the schedule out pretty far in advance. So if you're in a class, you have a class going on, you're going to have an idea of when that's going to end. It'll be on the schedule, and you're going to know you want to take your exam within 1 to 3 weeks after that, right? So I'd suggest go ahead and schedule a class that's going to start soon after that. Go ahead and get it scheduled, because what that does is it gives you a goal, right? You know you want to get that exam done. You know you want to get your next class to a certain time. And you can schedule pretty far in advance. You can see the registration dates on this. The registration date is when you're allowed to schedule. So you can schedule October classes. You could have scheduled starting July 1st, which is about 3 months. Normally, we'll let you schedule about 3 months in advance, okay? So if you're looking at the schedules ahead of time, see anything 3 months out you want, just let us know. We can get you scheduled. I'll show you a little bit about our self-scheduling system too. So if you do want to do that, it is something that you can do. So I'll go back into my courses, and I'll show you that. So under my courses, we talked about at the top here, this is our online course registration. So it's going to list the courses with different pages. I have a bunch because I have some extra courses on here, just as an example. But if you're wanting to schedule what you can do, for example, we talked about that college math. I can click on there, and it's going to tell me if I'm enrolled or not. So I'm not enrolled in that, so I know I can schedule that. So I can click on it and see a bunch of options here. Now, it may give me a bunch of stuff that's going on, but what I can do is click through here and find the one I'm looking for. So you can see this one started up a while ago. It'll let you know if there's any seats available. I don't want to start something that's already going on, but if there's something I want there, it would basically let me click on it, and it would give an option to enroll there. So you can always enroll through this self-scheduling system, or, like I said, you can always, if you see something on schedule you want, just get in touch with us, live chat or email, let us know what you want. We'll get you scheduled as well. Whenever you get scheduled for a course, you get an automated email letting you know that you're scheduled and letting you know the day and time confirmation on the class as well. So the nice thing is you can keep those emails for confirmation to know exactly what you're scheduled for. We're going to go back to a few other things here on the website that I think are nice, a few other things that are nice to see. But that's the big picture idea of kind of what we're doing. You're going to go through our courses, you're going to make sure you do the videos and the reading and everything else in the class each week. As long as you're keeping up on all that week to week, you're good to go. That's the nice thing about the flexibility of this. You don't necessarily have to be in when the video is live. As long as some point during the week you're watching that video and you're doing the reading and everything else, you're good to go. If you do happen to get behind on anything in a class, let us know. The one other thing that our system does is it does track what you're doing. And the nice thing about that is if you start to get behind in a class, a lot of times it will notice and will reach out to you. So for example, if you haven't clicked into a specific class in 7 days, a lot of times you'll see an email from us. It'll say, hey, we've noticed you haven't logged in 7 days. We're just making sure you're okay. Let us know if there's anything we can do. If it happens to be 14 days or more, that's 2 weeks that you haven't clicked into a class. We will probably contact you, and sometimes we will pull you from a class, especially if it's a shorter class. So the reason we do that is for your benefit. We can always get you back in the class if you contact us, but what we want to do is we want to know what's going on with your situation. At that point, you're 2 weeks behind, 2 weeks behind on videos and material and everything, and that can be a big deal. So definitely keep that in mind. If you're really active and you're going through a class, make sure you're clicking in each week. If you're clicking in each week, you know you're good, okay? And you know that everything will be fine. But if you do get behind, let us know. That way we can kind of be proactive and figure out what we need to do. Nice thing is we can always reschedule classes for you. We can always keep you in a class. We can always do things. Whatever's going to work best for you, but we like to keep communication open so that we make sure we're helping you out the best we can. That's the main stuff as far as the website and the courses. Again, remember, ways to get in touch with us down here. The other thing I want to show you is as you're going through everything with our program, as you're doing all of this, we talked about getting to the point where if you're in our ASN program, getting to the point where you're going to be enrolling with Excelsior College. So I just want to show you a little bit about that, the T's, those kind of things as well, so that you're familiar with that. So if you're doing one of our other programs, our BSN program, that kind of stuff, this won't be as important to you, but definitely if you're in our ASN program, it's nice. What I'm going to do is just kind of click back into this link here about the T's, but it's going to take us to the website that I'm talking about. So this is Excelsior College. Excelsior College, if you're in our ASN program, is where you're going to enroll, and you will need to enroll with them when you get to the nursing portion. This T's exam is something you have to do when you get to that portion as well. This is something that's a relatively new requirement that they're having you do. Pretty much any nursing school at this point is having people do the T's. They do have required scores, so what we suggest when you get to this portion is really prepare for the T's exam. Go here to this website that's linked there. Check out the scores required. There's an overall score and also a score you have to have in each section. What we normally suggest doing is there's info here on how to go to ATI, Here's the ATI website. What we really suggest you do is go to this ATI website when you're doing this. Use this TEAS package study guide. Get that from them. That's going to have everything you need to prepare and be ready for the TEAS. So utilize that to make sure you're where you need to be. And then you should score really well on that. When you get to this portion, if you have questions about it, let us know. The other thing you're going to do when you get to this point as well is you're going to have this verification of healthcare experience form you're going to fill out. You're going to have your supervisor fill that out. That just basically verifies that you are working hands-on in a clinical setting, which is a requirement of the program. So you're going to do that. After you got those done, you do the application right here on the website. This website will work you through it. You'll enroll with them, and then you can definitely move on and take the nursing exams as well, and you're good. So that is most everything that I want to go through as far as our orientation and as far as all of this goes right now. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick around for a few more minutes, so if you have any other questions or anything, there's a chat box on here you can type in for questions. So feel free to type in questions. I'll stick around for a few minutes and answer those. But if not, that's all we have for the orientation. But remember, we're here for you through the whole program. So questions as you're going through, anything you're doing, trying to get things set up, trying to get into your first class, any of that, let us know. Like I said, there's the chat online as well as our email and that kind of thing. So thanks everybody for joining in. I'll be around for a few more minutes for questions. Thanks.